I am excited that I get to talk with you a little bit about your story and how your story has actually impacted me. I remember hearing your story for the first time. I was about 10 years old. You came and spoke at the school that I was attending, and you shared about this trial that you went through and how God used that in your life and how He was faithful, and that left a lasting imprint on me. And so if you would be willing, would you share a little bit about what God brought you through?
Well, He brought me through a tremendous tragedy in my life that blindsided our whole family. My husband and my son died in our airplane, and it left me in a lot of trouble financially and emotionally. It took me 16 years to finally write the things I went through, and the reason I wrote it was because I want everyone to know that no matter what you go through, God is there. He's going to take you through the waters. He's never going to leave you or forget you, and He's going to find a way to bring you through tragedy. Even when you think your life is over, it's not. That's why I wrote the book.
And you titled the book Harvest of Joy.
Yeah.
And I forgot that was the title of the book, but I do remember when you came and spoke when I was younger, you spoke specifically on joy and happiness. And so for 20 years now, since I first heard that story, this testimony specifically has been the story that God has used to continue to encourage my own source of joy, that He is my source of joy. James 1:2-4, consider it pure joy when you face trials. I think of this because of what it's developed in you, and then what your faithfulness to God in that brought about in me.
I want people to know that in tragedy, through tragedy, God is our joy. He's our strength. He's our Redeemer. He's our Savior. I actually pictured myself climbing up in His lap every day and throwing my arms around His neck saying, God, it's me and you. And through talking with Him, you can have joy. You can feel joy, and you can live joy, even though it's sorrow.
Wow. Like sitting here tearing up just thinking about it. I think that's something that a lot of people can relate to, going through those hard times and wanting so desperately to hear from the Lord. And what were some of the ways that God did speak to you and meet you?
Through people in the church. I mean, when this happened, I'm not a farmer. I'm a brownie baker. But the men in the church came forward and they took an area to see me through, like financial. There were 2 lawyers. There was an entrepreneur in land development. There was a farmer who would help with the plow down.
Hearing the way that the church supported you and loved you is a powerful reminder too, that the church is the hands and feet of God. So God caring for you and loving you was through the church.
It's your best bank account. I had no money, but I had church. I had friends, I had family, I had love. He brought me through all of that and restored what they say the locust steals, So I am happy today, so happy. And I can tell this story because it tells of the goodness of God. His mercy follows after me, is following after me. I sing that a lot. The last story, the last chapter of this book was written in our cabin that summer, 2 summers ago. And I had just finished and turned it in that evening to her, this book. And that night our cabin burned down. And so I'm thinking that's one thing that God wanted the story written, and I turned it in the night that my computer burned down, everything burned down, and the story would have been lost.
He wanted the story told.
He did.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your story with me 20 years ago.
Eden, you are a delightful lady. I'm just overwhelmed at the fact that this has impacted your life, and that's the only reason I wrote it, for you.
Yeah, it's a huge testimony, and God's using it. He's used it in the past, and He's going to continue to use it.
Thank you,
so,
Eden.
thank you for telling your story.
Precious. Thank you.